Life's meant to be fun, you know? I think all of this is up to interpretation. And I don't think there's really any correct way, or there's no guidebook in life, so you can do it however you see fit. And so this is how I'm gonna do it. I believe we're in a position, as our band is getting bigger, that we can implement certain philosophies and ideologies to progress into a brighter and better future for our generation to be remembered by. We've extended ourselves so much as Palais Royale that, it's oftentimes vulnerable. That's, for most people that's read my book, that's often the word that sums it up, is vulnerable, which I think we all are all in a state of vulnerability. And I kind of extended myself in that way, thus, as we do in our lyrics and in our music, to be an open format so you can see yourself in me as I saw myself in other artists that I loved. I think it's very important for everything in this digital age. It's not physical, It's so easy to be forgotten when something's not physical. That's why it was so important for the band. We released the Royal Times, which is a newspaper that's mainly focused on consciousness, our own and our fan bases. We have submitted poems and sections for fans, and it's beautiful to see the style of my writing progress into our fans, and you kind of see the development of their own style and of their own thinking. And that's the most beautiful. If we can give a gift to anyone, it's to let them know that what you think is perfect, and it doesn't have to be bound by expectation. There's so much time on tour, especially when we were in our van state. All you could do is sit for 15 hours or something driving. I would use that to write my books of existentialism and metaphysics, and just think as compulsively as I could. When Remington and I first went to LA for meetings and stuff, we took a cab. This was before Ubers. We took a cab to a museum and watched now my favorite documentary of Norman Foster, called How Much Does Your Building Weigh, Mr. Foster? He's this architect, but in his film, he introduces you to a character called Buckminster Fuller, which was a eccentric genius of the 1940s. And through that, I found Alan Watts, and that was a huge thing for me. I kind of look at it as a father figure of sorts, in philosophy and just in real life. Finding my own place in existence was, it's almost like I took a transcendentalist thought of finding isolation through nature, and going away from people in general, and finding your own thoughts and what makes you happy and what makes you tick, and even what scares you. When I was 15, I locked myself away for a year and covered my bathroom floor, ceiling, closet, everything. I stopped showering. I started drawing in there. I got a little weird. I started drawing as much as I do out of the pain that I have. And each new page is an expression of something terrible I've been through. Through my sketching, I'm an architect. I'm planning for the new world called Calypso. Remington and I are going to build an island off of Greece. It will be an ode to Mont Saint-Michel. I've always been in love with retro-futurisms. And in the 1920s, there was a big movement of sketchers that never got their buildings made, but it was ideologies and these grid maps of imaginary cities. And for the past 2-3 years, I've been sketching our imaginary city, which actually is the location of where Boom Boom Room is located. And in the future, we have 2 conceptual albums that tie into films. It's called Wasteland and Wonderland, and it follows the story of the Lost Boys and the revolutionists in this town that we've created, this city, this island called Calypso. I bought this sketchbook when I was in Paris. I was walking by Notre Dame and noticed this beautiful little art shop. The first drawing is of the upper section of Mont Saint-Michel. This is where Remington and I went for my 21st birthday after we played in London. It was the happiest I've ever been in my life. That's Remington and I right there. Walking, talking about the buildings, talking about Calypso. And there's little hidden meanings and messages behind everything, like Dolly's dripping clocks. I felt as if time truly stood still there just because there was no Wi-Fi, no internet. There's 44 people that live here. I hope to be the 45th one day. Some ships of my mind. Hope to have a ship one day too. I'm planning on going to Venice. When were you doing those shows in London? May or after May? Whatever. But going to Venice. Haven't been there yet. Already sketching it. It doesn't have to be reality. That's the beauty of sketchbooks, is there's no gravity. So I've been getting into paradox because I find it fascinating. Like this, for instance. Yeah, that's a paradoxical image. Shouldn't be able to flow like that, but with a sketchbook you can make it. That was like in the city of Mont Saint Michel. You can see Remington and I kind of wandering throughout everywhere. I remember sketching this at like 4 a.m. It was the happiest I've ever been. This was right in Paris where we were staying, right next to the Airbnb, which was, I think, a huge moment for us. It was like when I was out sketching or something at Notre Dame, or even when Sebastian was in Rome, and like people come up to you and like, oh, Palais Royal. They say it so beautifully. They're like, Palais Royal. I'm like, yes, that band. These are some prints. They smell like French vanilla. I always found it so fascinating that religions in general, they use scent to influence your enlightenment or spirituality, you know, with incense or just certain smells in a church or something. And for some reason, art has never incorporated scent with the image, and I've always wondered why that was. Thus, the happiest I am is when our fans, our beautiful soldiers of the Royal Council, come up to us and tell us that they stopped drawing or stopped creating for years and years and years, and then they saw our band and it gave them the inspiration to do it again and to think and to be creative, and you know, and they say it with a smile on their face. That makes me so happy, just because I know we've all kind of experienced firsthand what it's like to lose inspiration or just feel like you're a stranger lost and afraid in a world you never created. It's very easy to feel like that, but that's why we created this family called the Soldiers of the Royal Council, is to be this movement where we're all as happy as the next, and it doesn't matter what's happening in the world around us, as long as we have each other. You know, it's family, chosen family. It's the best family. I know it's oftentimes lonely. Yeah, we've all been there. I remember not too long ago, Remington, myself, and Sebastian were just those boys in front of the mirror singing and dreaming and wishing to do it. And yeah, I wasn't too long ago, but it was a matter of putting your mind to it. And it was honestly the realization that no parent, no religious figure, no teacher, no friend has ever told me what all this is about. So if no one's ever told me what all this is about, that means you might be the one with the answer.